Google voxels, which is the currency we have around here on the VoxelBox, and then down here we see some less scary, shall we say, like Sapientia suits, and then we are down to apartments, rooms, and finally the chambers of deprivation. Okay, now let's move inside. So, welcome to everyone here. This is the Sapientian dining. You can see it has a lot of bricks because it's basically a Moorish restaurant with a bit of Latin touch to it. It's pretty delicious around here, and you see these interior decors, these arches. I think it's a pretty good use of interior. I mean, because you're in a place where everything is not divided without walls, and that's why, yeah, that's why you always have these interior walls. But yeah. Now, the other side called Shifu. It's pretty Asian over there. So, welcome to Shifu. This is a place with a lot of dining, fine cuisine with sushis, some noodles. So I built this. Now, people tend to ask me what exactly I have in mind for interior decoration. For me, the key things with interior decoration is not only in terms of the purpose of it, but it's also the three things actually: detail and variety. So when I think of purpose, it's pretty straightforward. What exactly do you want in your interior? Interior. It's always good to brainstorm everything that you have in a place. For example, for my house, I have all sorts of dining places and sleeping places. And for these, of course, you need chairs, you need tables, you need a fireplace, an entrance, and a kitchen. So, a very useful tool to use when you're looking at these interiors is something called Google Images. And you go on Google Images to find images that copy off, or well, not copy off, but base your designs on. Now, next step onto the idea of variety. Now, variety depends on three things as well: the size, the shape, and the organization. How creatively have you used this? And that's basically organization. How big, and how do these big and small change throughout a piece, and what do they look like? And these three are for your variety. Moving on to the second part is the third part is your use of detail. You don't normally go to places where you see really basic furniture. They remind you of poor places. That's why in places that you want to see a lot of complex, luxurious detail. So for details here, I've used fence gates, fence gates. Yes, wooden
Yes.
plates,
Yes.
and then stairs and sides. So now we'll move on to the individual rooms that you may like to check out in case you want to live in the hotel.
Although some of the rooms are very expensive. Googles of Voxars? Wow, I can't even imagine having that much money.
So you're welcome to one of the cheapest types of rooms here. It's the basic room. You see the two chairs, a TV screen, um, a place where people can sleep, and generally there's some bookshelves and two pots of flowers. Now, an interesting to note here is the use of hatches. I know in single player you may consider hatches as like boring loads to trap people with, but really in here you can make them into pots surrounding flowers, and they're really good flower pots in my opinion. So let's move on to the palace's interior because this palace's interior has not been completed yet. Sorry about that.
No big deal. Everything is a work in progress here. There are very few fully completed cities. This so much awesome things. It's actually one of my first times living here.
Before I talk about the palettes, I'd like to talk to you about the street names of Sapientia. Now you can see here that this is the Atrium Square, yeah. Gravion, it's near the main crossover just now before you crossed over to the So the Atrium Square is basically a really nice water square with these water fountains. I deliberately used water as something the boring, monotonous sort of colors here in order to create a sharp juxtaposition, or in less posh terms, a contrast between really bright colors and dark blue colors. Now let's move on into the interior. I can see Gravion moving eagerly around the place. Let's go!
Away! Woo! I'm having quite a lot of fun looking at everything.
So, welcome to the, once again, work in progress interior. You see I used a lot of dynamic lighting here, which is basically the use of torches and the use of glowstone hidden beneath a layer of water beneath a layer of glass. And this, what's so good about this then? The good thing about this is probably the fact that the glowstone is probably diverted out so that it's subtler, but still lights things up. So before now, I will head you into another street tour of the town. And this time we're going to a few feature builds. Meanwhile, let's go.
Yes. Such a lot of fun here.
And I suggest everyone who does this bit to switch off the fly mod and actually walk. Haha.
Yes, me and my fly mod. I use it way too much, as people who watch my channel will know. Oh, it's a jumping puzzle? Fly mod. It's a time jumping puzzle? Fly mod. I want to get somewhere fast? Fly mod. It does rather take away from my build. Oh, I appear to have been disconnected. Well, we'll get back to recording in a quick second. I need to reboot my... Alright, we're back. Let's let me go catch up with Fort, as I seem to have disconnected. Alright.
So, welcome once again to Fort and Gravion's tour. You can see here this is the housing district, and you can see a lot of cyan wall banners. I have to tell you that the VoxelBox has a really, really nice texture pack, such that all of its colors are really creative. Oh, hello, Gravion. Okay, now moving on, let's go down the streets and visit one of the finest builds of our place. Rose's Cafe / Mansion.
Rose's Cafe and Fibonacci's. Coffee and Fibonacci's. These are spread across this whole server. It's actually quite awesome.
Now, welcome to this Rose's Cafe. It's a really nice place because Rose is a really nice person. And, yes, that sounds a bit corny, but yes, her builds are really creative. And the way she puts all of these names, oh, I can't even understand how she comes up with all of these choco orange, choco chino colors, and it's really funny. Now let's visit the seats.
Made of stone and with built-up snow blocks that aren't quite full-sized. This here is something you don't see very often, even on this server, is snow blocks that are like, this is the overlay snow that normally falls down from the sky. With data values, you can actually manipulate how high it has fallen.
Yep, and all of these seats were sniped by Sniper, Voxel Sniper. Now let's move on overhead to the interior upstairs.
Going to fly up the stairs, as I'm terrible at stairs in and of itself.
So once again, you see that these are no physics sniped. There's a lot of good use of glowstone, suspended flowers, suspended waters, and it's pretty amazing that Rose can come up with such great ideas. I think Rose is a great organics artist, as all of you may be aware of, and that her normal builds are also very amazing. So both of these colors are both of these talents make her one of on here.
And for everyone who doesn't know, Rose Dragon, the creator of this build here, is also the creator of Dragon's Canyon, who I'm sure many of you have actually seen the videos for. Mexi on his channel Less Than the UK, I'll link it in the chat, has done a very awesome tour video of that, and so you'll be able to watch that and see some of the really awesome builds that I may not have been able to show.